30% of good fats, and 40% of carbohydrates. So we will have to teach them to swap, carbohydrate rich or processed foods with protein rich foods. We are not talking of high protein, but adequate protein. So these two nutrients, calcium and protein, they are very, very essential to, for people in their 20s, because that is going to determine their bone health and muscle health.
Yes, rightly said. I know nobody can skim on protein. That's such a vital nutrient. And water definitely in 20s is so lacking, and we need to make efforts during this phase, right? So moving on to 30s, what is your take on this, ma'am?
Okay. So, what happens is in 30s, metabolism slows down. We have seen that in every decade after 30, muscle mass will decline by 5%. So, and this is a reproductive period. People are generally planning their families. So, for them, protein and folic acid are two essential nutrients. Folic acid prevents neural tube defects in the newborn. So one must start folic acid 3 months before anybody is planning pregnancy. And even otherwise, it is a B complex. This molecule comes from B complex family. So it is very, very important. Second, protein, as I said, from early on, protein is vital in all phases of woman's life, because we start losing muscle mass, so weight management becomes a challenge. And so it's important to preserve the muscle with adequate protein intake. And we teach them that one should be consuming about 30 grams of protein with each meal. And it should be taken at different meals, because kidney cannot absorb more than 30 grams of protein in one go. And it has to be combined with strength training, because that's what's going to give the shape to the body. It will help in weight management. It will reduce hunger pangs and will reduce, taking steps between. So it's very, very important to take adequate protein and avoid refined carbs. That means white bread, pastries. They should replace sugary beverages with water, with coconut water, with lime water, with green tea. But they have to avoid sugary beverages because they are empty calories, and it can also make weight management very difficult. So yes, we have to watch our calories by taking a balanced nutrition.
And most women complain of weight gain in this phase.
Absolutely, because then they can gain weight during pregnancy and then during lactation, and then the weight always stays. So it always requires balanced nutrition along with strength training and regular exercise. There is no other magic. This is the magic.
Correct, correct. Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. So moving on to our 40s now, what do you think is essential?
So, in 40s, what happens? The cholesterol and blood pressure tend to rise with age. And what we have to ensure is that we do regular exercise and take heart healthy foods. We have to limit alcohol. We have to avoid trans fats. Trans fats is something, when you are buying something, read the label. If it says hydrogenated oil or trans fats, we should either avoid or limit those foods. If we are trying to keep reheating the oil and keep using it, then there are some trans fats which are released, and they are responsible for heart disease. So to protect your heart, we need to have heart-friendly foods like fresh fruits, vegetables, adequate protein. So it goes without saying, this global nutrition philosophy of 30% protein, 30% of good fats, and 40% of complex carbohydrates, we have to follow core nutrition. Core nutrition is something which body cannot manufacture, and that includes protein, vitamins and minerals, and our good fats. So during this time, we have to look at antioxidants. Besides protein, antioxidants, they delay aging, they prevent cell damage. And antioxidants means vitamins A, C, E. These are, they prevent cell damage. So for vitamin A, you can have carrots. For vitamin C, you can have citrus fruits. For vitamin E, you can have nuts and seeds. And you have to keep eye on your vitamin D. Because in 40s, there is generally a decline in vitamin D stores. And vitamin D is very essential for calcium absorption, for immunity, for cancer prevention. So in 40s, generally, we will need to take a diet rich in antioxidants or take supplements which give us proper antioxidants, which are vitamins and minerals, and of course, take our vitamin D supplementation too. So all these are very important in 40s.
Certainly, and inadequate antioxidant consumption literally shows up on the face.
Yes,
Who wants the damaged skin, right?
yes.
Absolutely. So, ma'am, next is our 50s. So, what are the essentials that we need to consider in our 50s?
In 50s, generally the cardiovascular risk increases after 55 years of age. And this is not me saying, this is a study from National Heart, Lung and Blood Institute. So, we have to be very careful and to control our triglycerides and cholesterol. Fiber really aids in managing cholesterol levels and, it gives us heart health. So there are two types of fiber. One is a soluble fiber, which will stabilize blood sugar, and it also brings down the cholesterol levels. And then the insoluble part of that, it helps in digestion. In the insoluble part, it doesn't get digested, just adds bulk. So soluble fiber is very important. So we should be consuming fresh fruits, vegetables, everything which is rich in fiber. Can you just go back, please, a little bit in the 50s only? So fiber in the previous slide, please. So fiber is very, very important. Then, sometimes because the absorption of vitamin B12 goes down because of decreased acid secretion. So we have to consider B12 because it's very important for our nervous system. We have to increase omega-3 fatty acids. We have to take EPA and DHA, which comes from fish like salmon, mackerel, or we can take ALA, which vegetarians can take in walnuts. So all these things, omega-3 fatty acids, also has a role in brain health, not only in heart health. So omega-3 fatty acid, the good fats, are very, very essential in 50s.
Right. So next, ma'am, moving on to our 60s.
Yeah.
So I'm sure this is the roller coaster ride here, and everyone wants to know about this.
So in 60s, what happens? 5 years into menopause, we tend to lose, our bone mass and our bone density. And for that, to maintain our muscle mass and bone density, we will need adequate protein, we will need calcium so that our bone density is maintained. We need folic acid, we need B12 and Ds, as I just mentioned. We need good fats like omega-3, fiber, and antioxidants. Regular exercise routine is very, very essential, including cardio and strength training. Of course, if you don't have any high risk factor. So just ask your doctor what exercise you can do. And then, medication can slow down metabolism. Menopause can slow down metabolism. So appetite goes down, the nutrients you don't get enough. And the absorption in the gut gets affected. So aging leads to decline in the friendly bacteria, our microbiome changes, the nutrients don't get absorbed. So we have to think of probiotics. Probiotics means the friendly bacteria, which help in the absorption. And there is a gut-brain axis. If our gut is healthy, our brain is going to be healthy. We are going to be happy. But if our gut is not good, you don't feel good. So all these things play a major role in the 60s.
Agreed, ma'am. Agreed. And I think it's very important for people in every phase, be the 20s and 30s and 40s, to take care of the essential nutrients so that they can ace this phase. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Right. And speaking of probiotics, there's so much information around these days around what is the friendly bacteria, good bacteria do to your body. And, it's such a best thing to incorporate to maintain your digestive health. And say, for example, we have like a brilliant product, a Simply Probiotic, right? So Simply Probiotic here, incorporating this into our daily routine is as easy as a pie. You can use this on the go, add it to anything. And most probiotics don't reach to the destination and do the kind of work that they are meant to do. Okay, unlike a simply probiotic, which is brilliant that way, right? And it is specifically designed to promote digestive health and boost overall health, like as you
Absolutely.
just mentioned in the slide before this, right?
Yes.
So apart from this, for our audience to know, right, there you can also add fiber to your diet, and fiber also is essential throughout to keep your to keep your to give you that feeling of fullness. And to add to this, it also acts as a prebiotic, right? So it helps in influencing positively to your good bacteria, or leads to the better population of bacteria in your gut, I can say. So that's how fiber is essential. And night works. Now this is one of my favorite products now.
Mine too. Mine too.
Yeah, absolutely, because the L-arginine in this is not just any ordinary amino acid. So it has the ability to boost nitric oxide. Now, basically, what is nitric oxide? It might sound really fancy, but to put it in a simple term, it's like, imagine if somebody, if the cars are stuck in the road, there's a huge traffic jam, right? Imagine your blood to be like that. So because of the traffic jam, it's moving very slowly. So when the roads are widened, automatically the cars are able to move very smoothly and swiftly, right? So they are able to pave way in an easy manner. So that's exactly what L-arginine does to your body. It's making the blood flow much easier, so that it reaches to all the organs and does what it needs to do.
Correct.
So yes, those are like three of my favorite products, in fact. And moving on to the next, ma'am, there's so much to speak about the women's nutritional needs. And in a generation like this, where women hold equal position to men, but I also understand that biologically or physiologically, their needs are different. So could you enlighten us with how different the
Yeah.
needs are, nutritional needs are?
So, okay. So, one thing is that weight loss in men is quicker than women because their resting metabolism is higher. They have more muscle mass. And, women have a challenge because they are going through hormonal fluctuations in different phases of life. So, in that, they tend to lose their metabolism. Metabolism slows down. They go through pregnancy, they go through lactation and perimenopause and menopause. So depending on the intensity of the phase they are going through, the nutritional needs really vary in women, which does not happen in men. So much fluctuation doesn't happen in men. As I said, qualitative need in both men and women stay the same. But the quantitative difference is because of the physiological processes taking place in a woman's life. And that is why during pregnancy, more protein, more energy, more calcium, vitamins, iron, potassium is required. During lactation, again, they require more protein, more calcium, more iron. Similarly, in adolescence, as I said earlier, it is the growth phase. So they require more protein. They are building their bones, so they require protein and calcium. So, at every phase, during perimenopause to menopause, they go through various fluctuations, hormonal changes, in which they start losing their bone density, they start losing their muscle mass, their energy needs go down. And because of all this, they go through, because of hormonal fluctuations, they also encounter a lot of mood swings and a lot of mental health problems. So it is all due to hormonal changes in the women's body, which generally doesn't occur so rapidly in a man's environment.
No wonder, ma'am, the women's power is far greater.
Absolutely, we do multitasking with whatever we have. We are genetically more intelligent. Our brain,
Yes, yes.
we can, that's a scientific fact. So on
More
Women's
strong,
Day,
more resilient.
yes. So 3 cheers to all the women on this call. So yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, all right then, ma'am. So let's shift gears right now for a moment and dive into a topic that affects every woman at some point in her life, be it managing menstrual pain or navigating through the menopause phase, right? From the perimenopause to menopause, it's no easier. But who says we cannot ride this wave with style and grace? I'm sure you will agree with that point and take us through this now.
Yeah, so it is not the end, whenever this happens, is just a bend. So in a woman's life, from perimenopause to menopause is just a bend. But you know what happens? Generally, perimenopause is that phase can last a long time, from maybe 5 to 10 years, when periods become irregular. One can have hot flashes, cold sweats. As I said, there'll be a tendency to lose muscle and gain fat around the belly. There can be sleep disturbances, mood swings, and of course, menstrual pain. But I'm telling you, this is nothing to worry. It can all be tackled by following an active, healthy lifestyle. If we take care of our diet, we take balanced nutrition, along with regular exercise, we can manage our weight. What happens is during perimenopause, menopause, there's an empty nest. Suddenly, children are gone. You feel depressed, and moreover, hormonal fluctuations are taking place, and that mood swings become too much, and mental health is really a challenge. So, if you consume a balanced diet with fruits, veggies, whole grains, and lean proteins, you can maintain your muscle mass. We need to include anti-inflammatory foods like good fats. As I said, omega-3 fatty acids, they don't have only role in heart health. It's very important for brain health. So one can take fatty fish. You can take 2 portions of oily fish, fatty fish per week. One can have nuts, seeds, and olive oil, but we must limit processed foods, refined sugars, limit alcohol, limit spicy fried foods. We have to take care of our hydration. And, because skin starts to get dry, and, there's vaginal dryness. So hydration is very important. So we need to consume enough water and take our herbal teas. We have to supplement with magnesium, omega-3, and vitamin D, as I've already told you. For bone health, dairy is very important, and calcium supplementation. And of course, we have herbs, like chasteberry and isoflavones. I mean, we have phytonutrients which have a great role to play in managing our mood swings, our hot flashes. And it has been seen, there has been scientific studies that if we take chasteberry and isoflavones, there can be a decrease, 11% decrease in hot flashes. And we can manage all our symptoms of premenopause to menopause. So, estrogen boosting foods, because in perimenopause and menopause, what happens? Estrogen level goes down. So we have to take foods which are rich, naturally rich in estrogen, like soy, nuts and seeds, flax seeds, walnuts, grains, vegetables like broccoli, kale, and fruits, strawberries, kiwis. And otherwise, we can take phytoestrogen containing supplements and hormone regulating like chasteberry and soya isoflavone.
Absolutely, absolutely, ma'am. And there's so much research around it, right? So, yeah, so you were just mentioning about how it helps in managing the symptoms, how it reduces 11% of the severity of hot flushes in women, right, during menopause.
Correct.
So, all these changes are bound to happen, but then it is all within us how we are going to manage or tackle it, right? Like I just mentioned, we need to ride this wave with style and grace. This can only be done by incorporating the right kind of nutrients that's required throughout. So with that, we have another brilliant product, which is Women's Choice. So you did mention about chasteberry and isoflavone, and there's umpteen research done around isoflavone being helpful in managing irritability, fatigue, hormonal imbalance, right? So with that, this product serves brilliant for people to manage these symptoms, right?
Absolutely.
And next there are omegas, which you did mention. So omega are herbal lifeline. It's a blend of purified marine lipids containing of EPA and DHA. So you did mention about the EPAs and DHAs, which comes from the fish oil, and we also have the ALAs, which comes from the plant sources. That could be from our cell activator. That could be from food sources like flax seeds and things, right? So another vital nutrient, multivitamin, mineral, herbal supplement, which is our Formula 2. Now, you've been mentioning about all the minerals, be it magnesium, all the vitamins and minerals, so essential to manage every phase, right? So this helps in overall support of our body. And then, if anybody wants to soothe down the symptoms and feel that, a little bit of energetic rush, and alertness and a little bit of concentration. I'm sure we all go through this phase and we have our other things to attend to, and we need this energy to keep us going, right? So at times
Absolutely.
like this, Efresh will serve as a best supplement for us. So yeah. So moving on, we do have like a busy lifestyle, right? And with that, one can maintain this busy lifestyle by having a high protein meal replacement. So be it the protein, so essential, the building block, be it the foundation, right? Without this, it's like the building is not going to stand for longer. You are going to have cracks and whatnot, right? So high protein meal replacement with a good amount of fiber, soluble, insoluble fiber, both added to this. And it's a combination where you put 3 scoops of Formula One, 2 scoops of personalized protein, and Shake Mate, right? 2 scoops or 1 scoop, depending on the protein requirement that's needed for the body, right? So high protein meal replacement serves as the best meal replacement shake for anybody to have energy throughout the day, have sustainable energy throughout the day, so that we can do the kind of our task that we are meant to do, right? So ma'am, during a significant phase of life, I know menopause, menstrual pains, this is every phase is very important, but this is some very significant phase of our life. Now, before we start thinking about the hot flushes, the sweats, and so many other things, the anxiety that sets in at this time, right? So we need to understand about the bone health specifically. We neglect this point. Okay, these are the
Absolutely.
symptoms that are going on. We're busy addressing this, but we're not busy addressing the bone health,
Yeah.
right? So please take us through how important it is specifically during this significant phase.
So as I said, with estrogen decline, our bone density starts to decline. So calcium is very essential for maintaining strong bones, and magnesium and vitamin D are essential for calcium absorption in the body. So calcium, if you take with estrogen, it will slow down your osteoporosis. You can maintain your bone density, and estrogen will enhances the calcium absorption in the intestine, and that ensures that the body gets enough calcium. And if we don't take it, then of course there's a risk of osteoporosis. So that is why calcium is very essential. Vitamin D is very essential. You can see here, you can see the normal joints and you can see the affected joints. So the cartilage gets affected. Can we have the next slide? And so, for maintaining our joints, what we need is glucosamine. Do you know glucosamine is found in the highest concentration in the cartilage, which supports mobility. And mobility gets affected during menopause. And for that, we need glucosamine and calcium.
Certainly, ma'am. Glucosamine is something that deteriorates over the period of time, but it's in our hand to maintain the deterioration, right? Now, that deterioration can be done with good diet and by taking adequate supplements. So, calcium, vitamin D, of course, if there is calcium, vitamin D has to be there for the absorption of it, right? Otherwise, everything is going for a waste there.
Yes.
And glucosamine with our product, which is our joint support. With that, I think one will be able to maintain the joint health, the collagen, the glucosamine quantity in between the joints, right? So with that, there is smoother movement, or friction-free movement, what we call.
Yeah, as you can see on the screen.
So the calcium with joint support will absolutely. So calcium with joint support will serve as the best combo for somebody with this face, right? So yes, this is my most favorite part of the series, myths and facts, right? So I'm sure we have so many myths around women, women's health, women, everything in fact. Okay, so due to the time crunch, I could just manage to ask you 3 for today, right?
Okay.
So out of which the first one is low carb or extremely low calorie diets are safe for women. So
No.
when comparing to men, ma'am, generally it's said that women need to concentrate on their diet, go more low on carb or low on calories. Is that true?
No, we can't tell women to go on a very low calorie diet, because one, when one takes extremely low calories, much less than what is needed, the body goes into a famine instinct. Body doesn't know whether it is man-made starvation or real famine. And then the body starts to accumulate everything as fat for emergency uses. So we all need 30 calories per kg body weight. So you can calculate your calories according to that. And low carb or extremely low calorie diet is not recommended.
I'm sure this is also related to the hormonal imbalance because one is having low calories and again improper nutrients. All
Yes.
of that sets in here.
True.
So my second is menopause causes women to gain weight uncontrollably. So once they're into menopause, there's a lot of the crankiness that sets in, saying that oh ab to mera weight kam nahi hoga type.
So that is a myth actually. Yes, menopause causes bone density loss and muscle mass loss. But as I said, with active healthy lifestyle, by regular exercise, by taking adequate protein, one can manage their weight during menopause also. So this is a myth.
Correct. So next up, we have a lot of women say this. They shouldn't be lifting weight. They shouldn't be doing any strength training exercise just because it will make them look bulky and make them, give that bodybuilder feeling. Is that true?
Yeah. No, absolutely not. Because it is a strength training which makes you beautiful. It's going to give you shape. And
Correct.
you are not going to look bulky at all. And
Absolutely.
because muscle burns more calories. So if we do strength training, we maintain our bone density and we maintain our muscle and we maintain the shape of the body. It's very essential.
Yes, ma'am. So from this, it's like from building muscles to speeding up recovery to fueling our body and to try to reap benefits from exercise. So people do exercise, but not everybody reaps benefits from it only because they don't take adequate, fuel required after that. And the best fuel after that would be your protein, right? Your our rebuild Herbalife 24 rebuild strength. So it has a great combination of whey and casein proteins, which gives about 24 grams of protein. Okay, now this sustained protein will help them recover, help them tone up their body and give that the build muscles in a right way that's required. Right. So with that, you will our audiences will be able to reap benefits when they take post-workout protein anywhere between 15 to 45 minutes or 15 to 30 minutes is ideal. So worst case, if you want to push it, have it within 45 minutes. So do you agree with this, ma'am?
Absolutely, because after exercise, the metabolic window is open. And whatever you take, it goes to every cell of your body. So immediately within half an hour, it's recommended you to take your protein shake.
Yes. So, so these were about the questions. We'll be taking in many questions from the other questions from the audiences. So let's see what are the questions that we have. It's time for questions. Yeah, so we do have a lot of interesting questions. So somebody's asking, hello, ma'am. Nowadays, infertility problem is increased. Sometimes there is unknown reason. Even doctors are not able to say what is the problem for this. So could you explain it?
Yes, the unexplained infertility is on the rise. That is because of, the environment, their late marriages. People are trying to conceive at a later age. And because of rising age, the hormones tend to decline. The biological clock is ticking. And the stresses in daily life, and lack of nutrition, everything plays a great role in infertility.
Okay. Another question is about probiotics. So we did mention in our slide saying that, after 50s, it is so essential. But they're asking if it can be taken throughout in 30s and 20s, and what would be the effect of this?
Yes, it can be taken every time. It can be taken all the time. There is no age limit for this because microbiome, because there are, so many friendly bacteria, and you are because of your microbiome. You are what you absorb. So if your microbiome is good, your absorption of nutrients is going to be better. In fact, it is going to help with weight management. Sometimes if your microbiome is not good, and then you hit a plateau. So if you add probiotic, it can help.
Oh, certain. That's a brilliant takeaway point, ma'am. So next question is again in comparison to the men. Why do women have more fat deposits than men according to their body composition?
Something is genetic. Fat is deposited there because for pregnancy, for things, because they have to become mothers. So the fat distribution is genetic in men and women. There's a difference.
Right. It's absolutely true, ma'am. And then we have our next question where so there's a lady asking about the blood clotting problem during periods and after cesarean delivery. So what are the essential nutrients that she need to consider post cesarean delivery? A, and secondly, what is that can help her the blood clotting?
Okay, so she has to take adequate protein in her diet, calcium, iron, all these vitamins, minerals are very essential. They need 300 calories during pregnancy and while lactating. So they can get from our products, they can start our adequate protein from our program.
Absolutely. All right, ma'am. So I think that's about a few questions that we could accommodate for today's session. So this is for the audience. If you guys want to know more about nutrition, lifestyle, we have our app where our experts in this field, the doctors are speaking about the right kind of nutrition, the nutrition that you can, nutrition education that you can utilize and download this app. It's called HN Grow, right? It's available both on your Play Store and App Store. So these are the simple steps. So you can download. It's available in both Hindi and English, right? Once you download it, you can add your preferred language. After that, add your credentials. So you can go to the nutrition and lifestyle section. So under nutrition and lifestyle section, there are a lot of videos which is by our experts, right? So to add to this, we have a new addition to this, which is nutrition audio book. Now, this audio book covers important elements of health and nutrition, nearly 19 elements or chapters in this, which has been spoken by our experts, Dr. Kent and Susan Bowman. I'm sure this is it's going to be an interesting. All the elements are very interesting, and there are going to be a lot of takeaway points, a lot of takeaway points for you, right? So do listen to this audio book, and you can earn 10 points through this, right? So then that brings us to the end of the session, ma'am. So as we conclude our today's session, let us remember that women's health is not just a matter of biology, right? But a celebration of strength, resilience, power of knowledge, more importantly. And let us continue to uplift and support towards the journey of holistic well-being. Whatever points that ma'am has explained today, all the essential nutrients, the importance, they're so important that if one of the essential nutrients are missed out in either of the state, you're going to have consequences in the following stages. Am I right, ma'am?
Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely.
So we need to remember to cherish this, nurture this, and prioritize our health every single day. Right. And thank you again, ma'am. Thank you again for being a part of this session. It was really good. Thank you.
Thank you. My honor today to be here.
Thank you. So we'll be sharing a SurveyMonkey link. So kindly click on this link and please provide your valuable feedbacks to us. Happy Women's Day again to you, ma'am. And happy Women's Day. I love the background color. I love the background. So colorful, so vibrant.
Yeah, wherever there is woman, there is magic, right?
Yes, absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. So kindly give in your feedback. So thank you everyone for being a part of this Factual Friday session. See you soon.